You know, it's very hard to celebrate after reading Black Clover Chapter 245 several times. I get it, we haven't seen Yami in action in quite a while, so seeing him in this chapter use his new spells, this chapter was just a awesome read. But something tells me that this chapter was just a huge power test, and we're here to talk about that. But before we do that, we have to break down this newfound power that Yami used in his 6-month time training on display against Dante. And there was a dialogue error in the fan translations of something that Yami said, but with the official release now out, it put things in more context when they corrected. So now I can do a proper analysis on this chapter and why Dante is testing Yami. So for starters, let's talk about the opening of this chapter because something stood out here. The moment that Yami seen Dante, he said, "You are dead meat," and these are the kind of words exchanged that Dante likes, because he responds saying excellent malice. These are the kind of emotions that Dante was trying to force out of Asta. Before Asta went in his berserk form state, he wanted to get this emotion out of Asta, trying to make him feel this true human emotion that Dante feels, that is the key of humanity, having evil intentions. After Dante gave that huge speech of malice to Asta, Asta was not buying it. Nothing worked until he stabbed Ghost, because before that Asta was fighting to defend, while Yami is showing up fighting to kill. So just from that dialogue alone from Yami, this increased Dante's interest level to capture Yami. Now when Dante used his gravity spell, Presence of the Demon King, to bring down Finral and Yami, I wasn't that impressed that Yami was still standing up, because we've seen in previous chapters that Asta was able to have enough power to swing his sword. But one thing I will say that was impressive here about Yami is that he used Mana Zone Black Hole and increased the power of this spell using Dark Magic Black Moon. Now in the fan translations, a black hole was called Black Blood, so it made people feel as though this whole new spell was just different in its entirety, but it was Black Hole. Now there was a little misconception of how Yami erased Dante's gravity in this chapter when the fan translations dropped and also when the official release dropped. Now that we know officially that he used Black Hole here, it gives us more clarity of what actually happened here. Yami's Black Hole spell has the power to absorb one's magic, so if you think about the increase on using Mana Zone on top of that, he was able to absorb and erase all of Dante's gravity magic in the entire area. So that's a perfect counter to Dante. And it shows a level of increase of power that Yami has gained over these past 6 months, because he was still able to use his Dark Dimension Slash while his Black Hole was still floating up. While the enhanced power of Dark Magic Black Moon, that is probably why it is still able to be in the air. The amount of magic and mana to use all those spells at the exact same time that early on, that seems something that is common amongst royals, because real powerful royals like Fagolian Nozel can use a lot of magic power early on while fighting and will still have enough magic without being exhausted at the end of fights. But this is Yami we're talking about. He has the power to rival royals and also devils, and the power to slice through space, which Dante mentioned in this chapter when he tried to attack Yami, and Yami was able to slice through it with Dimension Slash like nothing happened. With this crazy amount of power and how rare it is that Yami has, is probably one of the main reasons why Dante needs Yami. In this chapter, he's definitely more intrigued with Yami than he was previously with Asta. Dante definitely took this fight more seriously with Yami than he was with Asta, because when he used his gravity magic heavy in fight, he only used his fist to knock out Asta. But with this, he knows that he has to fight Yami a little more seriously. But the interesting thing about this chapter is that he did not increase his devil percentage while fighting Yami, but he was having fun. He had a smile on his face the entire time and just laughing. That's what concerns me about this chapter with Yami fighting Dante. Dante is clearly still hiding power. Now, one thing that the Viz corrected in this chapter is that Yami was talking about that he is still not on the level of Julius, but Yami was talking about himself, not Dante. In the fan translation, it seemed as though that Dante was on the level of Julius, but Yami was not referring to that. But I do like this touch here in this chapter with the correction of Viz, because it shows that Yami is still trying to reach Julius. He's trying to reach that Wizard King level. And it also gives us little hints of evidence how powerful Julius is, because with these impressive feats that Yami did in this chapter, it's still not on the level of Julius. Time magic is undefeated. But what's scary about Dante here is that he's increasing the speed of his sword with this gravity magic, and then he tells Yami, very good, almost like he's treating this like a sport. just trying to see how good Yami actually is and the way his dark magic works. That is why Dante was not fighting Yami with killer intentions. Dante mentioned that Yami is a key link to this world that connects to the underworld. And when someone says underworld in the story of Black Clover, we know that it is a reference to this mysterious demon realm. This opens up a door of theories of why the Arcane are being targeted and captured by the Dark Triad. I mentioned this in my review, but I mentioned that the world tree in Norse mythology is called Tree of Yggdrasil, and it holds these 9 worlds, and also one of these worlds is pretty much a reference to the underworld, or you can say their own version of hell. And also one of these worlds are a realm of elves. And we seen when William saved all the Golden Dawns, well, half of them, he used a spell called Budding of Yggdrasil from his world tree magic. That lets us know clear as day that Tabata was influenced by Norse mythology when he was creating William. Another interesting clue about this is that now that we know that it is a dedicated world of elves that is linked to the Tree of Yggdrasil, we seen that William and Licht with their combo spell was able to gather all the elves that were reincarnated and send them back into the afterlife. And now it's been proclaimed that William is a arcane stage and they need him, and he is a key to this underworld. This is not a coincidence anymore. So how does Yami fit into all of this? How is he another key? In our real world, dark magic is black magic, and black magic is a ritual, a dark evil practice to interact and summon demons to our world. Even groups of the shaman who practice shamanism practice black magic. People who practice these rituals believe this is a gateway, a path to summon demons to our world. Yami's dark magic is a clear reference to black magic. When Yami obtained his grimoire the first time, everyone talked about how ominous this power felt, that dark magic power, and it's the exact same feeling that everyone says when they get this feeling of forbidden magic, or when Asa in his devil form, or even Zagreus the warrior magic devil. Everything I just mentioned in the story of Black Clover are all referenced and linked to this underworld, this demon realm, which is why Yami is arcane and his magic was able to affect Zagreus, so all the evidence is there. This makes sense why Dante said that Yami is a key to this world, to the underworld. His dark magic could be a gateway to this demon realm, which in the real world it is. It seems as though William is not able to access these other worlds unless he uses a combo spell with someone else. He needs support, just like how we seen with him and Licht. So it makes sense that they're going to use Yami and William to do a combo spell to link this demon realm. We're not sure if it's going to be by force or they're going to be in complete mind control. But one thing we do know is they may extract the powers from both to open this world. Yami has that crazy dark dimension spell that can cut through dimensions, so it only makes sense why he has the power to open up the gates to this underworld. Now, for the reason in this chapter, we see that Dante already proclaimed that all the other Black Bulls who are Arcane stage, they all are going to work under him. Now, for this reason, why he wants these other Arcane stages, I think it's quite simple. Just to have a strong military power of Arcane so they can be an unstoppable force. But he did mention that he's jealous of Yami to have all these Arcane stages to work under him. Dante mentioned that he's never been jealous of a human, this is the first time, so he thanks Yami for this new malice. Dante's devil is called Lucifer, and we know that the story in the Bible, Lucifer was cast out of heaven because he was jealous that God created men, human, in his image, which was Adam. Quite ironic, right? I say that while I'm playing Prince of Egypt God Burning Bush music scene in the background of this video. You can't make this stuff up. Now, the end part of this chapter, people had concerns of how Dante was able to get cut open by Yami when his teleportation is very fast. And I think it's quite simple. With his black hole still in the air, I think that it was slowly draining all of Dante's gravity magic, because we've seen that the black hole was able to absorb one's magic, and also we've seen how it worked on Patri. Patri body couldn't even move. It worked instantly when Yami used his black hole, but since Dante is far superior, Yami used Mana Zone Condense. And since we know Mana Zone is a very powerful fundamental to let you control the magic in that area, since Yami condensed the Mana Zone, he was able to have a more accurate slash by using Dark Cloth II slash, completely speed blitzing Dante. But this tells me that this is what Dante wanted. I believe that everything that happened in this chapter went according to plan for Dante's case. He wanted to test the key that can link this world into the underworld, Yami's dark magic. And since Yami is arcane, of course Dante is not going to kill him. But it's pretty simple that if Dante was to go serious, I believe narratively, right now, he will beat Yami. But I think he was just testing the value of his arcane stage powers. And of course, Yami passed the test. So I think next chapter, Dante, we were going to see a more serious version of him. And Yami may get captured, or some other Black Bulls may get captured. I don't think Dante is leaving here empty-handed. So guys, comment below and tell me what you think about this. Leave your thoughts and theories all in the comment section. Also, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like on it. Subscribe if you are new with notification bells on. Join my Discord, that is in the description. Follow me on Twitter, that's in the description as well. Again, like, subscribe. You guys take care of yourself, have an awesome life, and we out.